Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to WrestleMania Night 1. WrestleMania. It is the night of wrestling. Well, one of two nights of wrestling now. We're back to 2 nights of WrestleMania. How was Night 1?
I thought it was pretty damn good.
Nicely done. Simply put, lovely. So I gotta say, it was, I've been saying this a lot. We should never go back to Night 1, to just one night of WrestleMania. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. For those of you who didn't watch the live stream, this is Josh. He's
Hello?
Jewish, and he looks like Jesus when he takes his hair out. So we all call him Jesus. So hey, say hi to Jesus. He will bless you. He will be your Lord and Savior tonight. So, God damn it. Fucking hell. So, match 1. Let's get right into it, because we got a lot to cover, and I'm thinking this is probably going to be a longer video. So we got Boogs and Nakamura versus the Usos. Who did you think was going to win before we started?
I personally thought the Usos were going to win.
And why?
The reason why I thought the Usos were going to win, because of the whole big bloodline story that's been going on.
Exactly.
I feel that because Roman Reigns has been at the top for so long.
It's pretty much a lock to win tomorrow. He's like I don't see him losing.
Oh, no. The Usos basically, because they're right there with Roman, I didn't really expect them to lose.
You think they're gonna basically keep all the titles in there?
Yeah.
Which kind of like almost like a way they did with like Undisputed Era, where they kept all the titles together.
Yeah.
And that was kind of my reasoning as well. Zach did a prediction on this, and he lost this prediction because although he did pretty well overall. He has a betting thing that he does with some friends. This was one of the few mistakes he made. I understand his reasoning, but you're wrong, Zach. So, overall, pretty solid match. I mean, like, nothing truly out of the ordinary. I mean, we had the Boogs injury, which that's a kayfabe injury, and I'll tell you why. There's no stretcher. So, and I know they use a stretcher a lot for kayfabe injuries, but carrying him to the back like that is how you make an injury worse. Because I don't know if you've ever seen an actual injury up close, but what is the first thing they tell you to do? Do not move him. You don't move him because you're not able to stably move him. Stretcher can do that though. So kayfabe injury, however, overall pretty solid match. And I mean you can never really go wrong with a match with Nakamura in it. Entrance was pretty solid. Sorry, Nita Strauss is better, but Boogs still good job. Nice flying V guitar. Love it. So then we got Happy Corbin versus Drew McIntyre. Now, this match, I really wasn't sure who was going to win. However, there was one thing that we wondered was going to happen. I thought maybe not, because I thought they would look for something a bit bigger. As much as it's still WrestleMania and that's kind of the biggest thing there is, they would kind of look for some more of a title match.
Yeah. To
have the end of days kick out finally, but it happened tonight.
Yeah.
It happened tonight.
Out of all nights.
Out of all the night. Well, like I said, WrestleMania, so obvious, but I mean,
the storyline wasn't big enough to really constitute that kick out.
Although I do like how there actually was a decent amount of fan reaction, because I thought there might be, because there's a lot of people that straight up don't know that no one's kicked out of it. Like, they haven't made as big of a deal out of it as they really should have, especially with this whole undefeated Happy Corbin streak. You really should have made that a plot point if you're going to have him then lose that undefeated streak as well. So, McIntyre takes the win. Pretty solid match. I love the reaction from Corbin when he finally kicks out. He's just kind of like, what the fuck? What the fuck? But yeah, overall, pretty solid. So, third match of the night. We're going to go through this, try to get through this pretty decently quick, just because there's a bunch of stuff to get through. By the way, you're not going to be seeing any of our reactions in here. All of them are all timestamped in the live stream, so make sure you check it out there. Yes, what he's doing. Check it out. Leave a like there. Leave a like here. Subscribe if you haven't. Otherwise, I will be disappointed and sad. And we don't like that. Isn't that right, Josh?
No sad people here.
No, Then we got Rey and Dominic Mysterio versus Miz and Logan Paul. What were your expectations for Logan Paul for this?
I personally thought that he was honestly his
I meant expectations before going into this.
Before going into it, I honestly didn't know what to expect because with the way Bad Bunny's match was last year, I thought that there was going to be a potential for a really good showing.
Yeah.
But there was no guarantee that it was going to be great.
Absolutely. I mean, Bad Bunny, and I've said this a lot. Bad Bunny put up quite a good showing, and this is coming from someone who said that having Bad Bunny in a match, and I'll quote myself here, thought I said that it was a stupid fucking thing to do. Dumbass Carter. Obviously it went great enough to where they said Royal Rumble, bring him back. His finisher is the Canadian Destroyer. It will always be, even though no one else is allowed to use it. Yep. The one guy we let use is a fucking celebrity who's not a wrestler.
Yeah, just let the musician
fucking
do it.
WWE logic. I think WWE would do something like that.
Honestly.
So,
WWE.
Gotta love the father-son duo of Dominic and Rey. They go together really well. This was a match in which Dominic involved, in which it was not for his custody, so that's quite something.
Yeah.
Logan Paul was pretty solid. I mean, he had a really, really just it's funny. It was a running power slam. It's not a hard move. It's not a special move, but he executed it pretty perfectly. Gotta say. And overall, it looked like he fit really well in WWE. It just felt like he was really comfortable the whole match. That he fit really well with everything that was going on. Both the Paul brothers are really good on the mic. I know a lot of people hate the Paul brothers because of how much shit they talk, but that makes them great for WWE. In terms of being entertainers, I'm gonna tell you the Paul brothers business model right now, all right? And you're gonna realize why it makes so much sense they are where they are, okay? What they have done their entire career is they first got a ton of fans, huge following, and a cultish following, in which it then pissed off a lot of people. They realized there were so many people that hated them, and they took advantage of this. You know what they did? They made themselves as punchable as they could, then would arrange a fight with someone else so people would pay so much money to watch them get punched, and then no matter if they win, lose, or draw, you're making a shit ton. Because you put yourself out there, you make yourself punchable, and then people will pay, and you will make their money.
Exactly.
And that's what they've done before. That's what Logan Paul does here, because they make him a heel. Great, he's with Miz. Perfect. Then Miz turns on him. So that, to me, clearly says Logan Paul's not done in WWE. We're going to see more of that, and we might actually start to see him as a singles competitor, as opposed to just being in a tag team with The Miz. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, even though I don't follow a ton of the weekly shows. I gotta see the Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I gotta see the. If none of you guys have ever seen the Raw after WrestleMania, it is one of the craziest crowds every single year, no matter what city is in. Nobody cares.
The roof always gets blown off.
Roof always gets blown off, and rarely do title changes happen on standard weekly shows. Raw after WrestleMania is that exception. I'm looking at you, AJ Lee. And you fucked yourself over with that, so that's your fault. You know what? But you did get your revenge on Paige the next year. So then we got Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair, and this is where it really started to show. Get those 3D graphics off the fucking TV.
Yeah.
Get them out of there. Looks like crap. The fucking lips with the Indiana Jones whip going around it. No. No, this is where it was bad before. This is where it really shows. Now, overall, the actual match itself, what do you think?
Honestly, I personally thought, just for the theming of the match, of the storyline going into it, I thought Bianca's hair was going to play a bigger part of the match.
That's fair.
Especially with Bianca cutting some of Becky Lynch's hair on Raw.
And we saw Lady Gaga being Becky Lynch with a new haircut, which was clearly inspired off Lady Gaga. I'm 100% convinced that it is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
With some fucking wacky sunglasses like we always see from Becky Lynch, with her first showing up looking like a airplane pilot from World War I or something.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought it was an okay match. I mean, I didn't really think it was that special. It was mainly just some good technical wrestling because, I mean, that's kind of the advantage that some of the WWE women's division have over some parts of the AEW women's division is some of the AEW women's division relies on these over-the-top stunts, whether it's Tay Conti doing some sort of fucking flip, Britt Baker, you know, just fucking shit-talking the shit out of you while she's beating someone's fucking ass, or is a Hikaru Shida just being fucking nuts. She's crazy. And Thunder Rosa being crazy. And Ruby Soho just fucking roasting the shit out of you. You know, I just feel like the WWE women's division, they try to do more of the technical wrestling, which I respect that. But it's not as over the top as some fans would appreciate. So I know I wouldn't be surprised if there's some people saying that they weren't really that big of a fan of this match. But it was good to see Bianca Belair win her second Mania event in a row. Overall, solid match. But like I said, yeah, like you were saying before, I really was a bit surprised that they didn't do as much with the hair. I mean, you had the hair pulling. Yeah, but I mean,
Becky grabbed it a few times, and that was really it.
Yeah, I mean, well, if we want to really go back to the hair pulling, you could go all the way back to Attitude Era, and they did so much hair pulling.
Oh yeah,
it was all hair pulling. It was only hair pulling, and it's really unfortunate
to the point where it was egregious.
Unless it was Trish and Lita, because they actually could wrestle. Then we got so Belair would win that match. I think I should have bloody fucking specified that. And then we had Seth Rollins versus mystery competitor. I wonder who it could possibly be. It's not like we've had rumors for weeks. It's not like he publicly left the company and there's literally only one other option when it comes to like really Cody's gonna go to TNA.
Yeah, right.
No.
What a joke.
TNA.
Impact, really?
It feels weird calling it Impact. Why did they change it from TNA? TNA's better.
I agree.
We need that 5-sided array or 5 or 6-sided ring back. We need that hexagonal ring. So Cody Rhodes, after 6 years, makes his return. Only thing I would have wished is that the commentators name drop AEW just once. Yes. They wouldn't do it. Come on. But they let him use his AEW gimmick, the American Nightmare, and his AEW music. And it was perfect. And it's funny because you're seeing him go to the ring and you're seeing the camera pan on Seth Rollins. And you could just see him going, this is so fucking cool. This is so cool.
You could see him getting ready just to be excited.
Well, it's funny because Seth Rollins is being kind of one of the guys, I remember when someone asked him about Kenny Omega, he's like, he should get out of the minor leagues and come to the big leagues at WWE. So now finally seeing someone defect from AEW, the founder of AEW, one of the founders, do that, that's got to be quite a big thing. And what a great match. And it's funny because I was saying to you, we got to see like the most beautiful Crossroads. And we saw a few solid ones. That last Crossroads. That last one. Magnifique. The only thing that would have been better is if it was a ladder match, jumped on top of a ladder, and then jumped with a sick cutter. Yes. Sammy Guevara. Nice job. So, yeah, Cody Rhodes would win this match because no matter who mystery opponent was,
it's pretty obvious.
They're going to win. Like, oh yeah, it's the return of Cody Rhodes for him to fucking lose in 10 minutes. 10 minutes, he's out. He lost. But that will bring us to our next match, Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. Now, we discussed this on the live stream, but this is actually something really cool. So, Josh, you have, your grandfather. I want you to explain the story, all right? Let's hear it.
Okay. So, my grandfather was one of the best seamstresses in Winnipeg, at the time. This was during the time, the WWF, kind of before those days, kind of like
the golden age of wrestling back then. Okay? The heroes and the villains. Back when kayfabe was alive and well.
Oh, yeah. Territories were a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Jerry the King Lawler used to have his old gimmick of just being an amazing king of wrestling.
So, but what did the seamstress do that made him stick out?
So, some of the greatest things that my grandfather got to do was make some robes for Ric Flair. And
Woo!
he has made a couple, at least one or two that I know of. He's made a couple crowns for Jerry the King Lawler as well. Which
he's got to have made one of the capes as well, probably.
Yeah.
I got to imagine. Like, if he makes a Ric Flair robe and he makes a fucking crown, he's got to make the fucking cape too.
Yeah,
but that's actually really sick. But I know it's completely off topic, but have to bring it up because every time, and it's funny, like, I was wondering, I'm like, how the hell are they going to make Charlotte Flair a special entrance? She wears that same robe every entrance. Mm-hmm. How do you make him more special? So I really hope one day they actually have her use Ric Flair's robe. Mm-hmm. With like, nothing changed, nothing.
Even though her original blue one is one of Ric's that just has been, like, altered.
I want to see one unaltered, though.
Yeah.
I want to see one that has not been changed in the slightest.
Yeah.
But, so, we saw Ronda Rousey, the WWE superfan, come to the ring, and what's the name of her finisher?
The Piper's Pit.
Piper's Pit. Get a new finisher.
It's the same name.
It's terrible. It looks like a shitty F5. It looks like an F5 if you weren't strong enough to lift them up.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Like I'll put it this way. When I was a little kid and me and Zach would wrestle, we used to wrestle as little kids together because, we're brothers, of course. And we'd watch WWE and we'd see like Jeff Hardy and we'd be like, oh yeah, we're going to jump off the house. And then my dad would be like, no, you're not. You're fucking crazy. But whenever I gave Zach an F5, the Pipers, that's how it would look. That's how it would look. It'd be me spinning and falling into the couch. That's what we did. Ronda Rousey, how many UFC championships and WWE championships have you won? I expect better. Mm-hmm. Get better. You are better. Also, as much as I understand the whole tribute thing to Roddy Piper, just become your own. Be yourself. Be something new. Like, seriously, imagine Ronda Rousey with Shayna Baszler's gimmick. Honestly. Seriously. Like, I really thought they were going to go with that MMA cage fighter thing when she came in, but nope. Yeah, but anyways, to, like, the match itself, no, actually, you were going to talk.
I was just going to say, they had, like, the perfect opportunity to do the perfect, like, female Brock Lesnar.
Especially because that's kind of how they introduced her.
Yeah, like, all the promos.
False advertising.
All the promos leading up was like, she was some big badass.
She was
woman.
The winner of the cage.
Kick ass, take names. No, just Rowdy Piper.
Yep.
Just like
fucking.
Yeah, you're a Rowdy Piper fangirl.
And yeah, but overall the actual match was pretty good. We saw her get out of the figure eight, and Michael Cole says no one's gotten out of the figure eight. Bullshit. No. I've seen about like at least 7 people. I've seen someone at a live event get out of that. Mm-hmm. At a live event. That's bullshit. It's not like the end of days where we all know that no one is kicked out. Unless your name is Drew McIntyre. Because I guess you have now.
Yeah.
But, so, overall, pretty solid match. A bit all over the place. And that was one of the moves that I actually really like that Flair does is when she gets thrown into the apron, she does this really cool thing where she goes right over top of it, but it's so smoothly done. Mm-hmm. And then I really like it when they work some stuff from just on the apron and then the other person in the ring, just because it kind of changes the dynamic of a match a little bit, just because you're not just seeing the stereotypical,
the pacing is so much different.
Like, it allows you to do some new cool shit, because some of the cool, like one of the things I like is, I think it's called the guillotine leg drop, where if you have, like, you get someone on the second rope, and then you're on the apron, you go up to the top rope, and then you do, like, almost like a leg drop. Yeah, like a guillotine blade drop. Yeah. I really like the creativity with some stuff there. I just kind of wish that matches would utilize it a bit more, but I noticed this one more than the usual match utilized stuff like that, and I think that Ronda Rousey's moveset actually gets quite good around there. So there's a few like submissions that she was almost doing there. Mm-hmm. Obviously she'd have to release after 5 seconds, but I thought it was some pretty cool shit. So Charlotte Flair would win this match, meaning that Rousey's big return for the Royal Rumble. She won, she's going to WrestleMania, and it means fuck all because she lost.
It doesn't
Fuck
help
all!
But the ref did get taken down, so it didn't really help.
Oh, yeah. So ref gets speared. Then Ronda has her in a lock. She's tapping out. And the ref, you can already see, he's already getting up. And then she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna
check on him.
I'm gonna check on him. I'm gonna lift him up to his feet
and
give my opponent a chance to recover." Fucking idiot.
Just to take a boot to the head and go down.
Stupid. Yeah, a big boot. Yeah, 85 that would have taken him down. Oh God, it's the big boot from Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, exactly.
How was I gonna get up after that? But he doesn't. That's it. So. Shit finish. I'm sorry. Just bad finish.
Great start, just very lackluster finish.
And then we had the main event, at which you said apparently a lot of people were upset about this being the main event. Kevin Owens versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. The return of Steve Austin after what, 19 years?
19 years since his last match.
19 years since his last match, and he's in his home state of Texas. So this is important. This is big. Now, we weren't sure at first which this was going to be a match, but I was like, there's no way it's not a fucking match. Because WWE, right before this, is like, oh yeah, all those matches you thought were happening tonight, fuck you, it's on tomorrow.
Yep.
So any of you who don't have your Sunday booked off, you just got screwed over. And what was it? The New Day match didn't even happen, and they didn't say it was happening tomorrow, so we're just assuming it got cut from the card?
Yeah, it must have just been squashed.
So any of you who put a bunch of money on that match, you probably lost it.
Yep.
So, fuck you, Vince. But anyways, so KO versus Steve Austin. We start with the KO show, which, just another talk show.
Just more bad mouthing.
I just wish they really put more effort into the look. Like, you remember the original highlight reel that Jericho used to have? Where he had all these props and all that. Like, they used to really make you feel this. Now they're just like, we're going to put a sticker on a microphone. We're going to have a little fucking painter's thing that you could, easily swap out. I mean, we saw that went wrong. Ambrose Asylum, if you remember that storyline with Jericho. But, yeah, so he's shit-talking the living hell out of Steve Austin and said, oh, yeah, let's just have a talk. Steve Austin comes out, you stupid son of a bitch there, KO. Little French-Canadian ass. So, basically, some good chirping back and forth. And then match starts like we all thought it would. Now, the second he said no holds barred, I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
All right. I'll bet. Oh, damn. I was not expecting this. One thing we forgot to mention, when he returned, we got to see the quad. Because it's funny, the second he turned around, I was like, he's getting the fucking quad. So overall, what were your expectations for the segment? Did you think it was going to lead to a match? And if so, what type of a match do you think we were going to see?
Okay, I'm one of those guys who tries to listen to the rumors before the events. And so
he's a lot more up to speed with this than I am in terms of
I'm one of those guys that was led to believe that it was just going to be a KO show with a little bit of a scuffle at the end, like a typical interview.
Like a contract signing.
Contract signing.
Because there is no contract signing in which some of this, of this, and some of this doesn't happen. And that's about it. But we saw quite a lot more. Now, so, no holds barred. I don't think either of us expected that.
Oh, God, no.
Now, the second we saw it, I was very skeptical about it because I knew that we weren't going to see, chair shot, headshot, kendo stick, and all, this crazy shit because, the guy's 57. I didn't realize how old he was. Holy crap. I knew he was in his 50s, but I didn't realize he was in his late 50s. I thought he was maybe 51 or 52, but he's getting up there. And it's funny because strength-wise, he looks better than ever. He looks better than when he was wrestling. Cardio,
not so great.
This is where his age shows. And it's funny because I almost feel like he wasn't taking Undertaker's advice because Undertaker, on numerous occasions in podcasts and interviews and everything, when people ask how do you prepare for WrestleMania, he says I have to do cardio for at least a whole month every day, for an entire month at bare minimum just to get up to scratch. And I don't think Austin was quite doing that. No. I think he was more. I think he was in the gym. I think he did some cardio, but I also feel like he's had more knee issues than the Undertaker has. Undertaker's issues have been a lot more in the shoulders, and Austin's has had obviously the neck, and his knees mainly, and then his back a little bit. But man, when he took that bump on the concrete, because I thought he was gonna give just a suplex to KO, and it was gonna be this big thing, but when he gave it to Stone Cold, I was like, holy shit.
I was scared.
That was a fucking thud and a half. Like, I was like, ooh. Like, it's funny, because you if you go to the live stream, you can see our timestamps for when the match starts and ends, and you can find it in there. But you'll see that both of us are like, what the fuck? Like, you actually just slammed, like 60-year-old man, like, straight onto the concrete.
Like, any wrong movement, and he could be in a wheelchair.
Yes. And I mean, if we've learned anything about suplexes recently, Big E, which I didn't even know about till just like today, because I haven't been paying as much attention as this guy. Mm-hmm. Holy shit, those can go wrong. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because they eventually would get back closer to the ring, and then you'd see KO Kevin Owens would try to steal his quad, but couldn't figure out how the fuck to turn it on. Just turn the key, Kevin.
Yep.
Just turn the key.
Just vroom vroom.
Quads work the same way in Canada as they do in Texas. There's just no tigers chasing you in Canada. They're polar bears instead. Anyways, but so it looks like Stone Cold gets behind him and gives him basically like a kiddie ride. It looks like like a little child. You plop him out in front. You drive him around.
Gives him a little joyride.
Drives him up the stage. I thought he was gonna throw him off the stage. He really should have thrown him off the stage. Come on. Kevin Owens, you've taken bumps where you've been like thrown through like fluorescent light tubes, barbed wire boards. You can't get thrown off the stage.
He's been thrown off the stage into tables before, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
Like, what would have this been any different?
Exactly. And you can put as many tables to cushion his fall as you want. As many. It doesn't matter. It's just
the more tables, the better.
Just the idea of him throwing someone off a table, getting 2 beers chucked at him, going like this, drinking it, and then pouring it on his fucking body down there. Would have been sick. Really big missed opportunity. A few suplexes there, though, with, as you mentioned, most likely a mic stage or something like that.
It was a little too loud to be...
But no, I actually like it like that. I'm fine with it like that. Like that's fine. Because if it's silent, I don't feel like people get as big of a grasp.
It wasn't bad. It was just kind of easy to tell it was mic'd.
Yeah, but I'm honestly I'm okay with that. Eventually get back into the ring. Both guys take stunners, and then only one stunner for the finish.
Yeah,
that was surprising. I thought we were gonna have at least 2 stunners. KO sold it pretty well. Now, because of his body type, he can't do as extravagant as a guy like The Rock, because The Rock's very tall. You can see him like rolling around and doing all this and that. With KO, he can't quite do that. It just doesn't work. But I think he sells it as best he could. I think that actually the second stunner he takes after the match is over
was a lot better.
He does a lot better. How many beer? I want somebody to go back, count how many beer cans were wasted in this match. How many?
Oh my! If I had to guess,
at least 20.
Like it has to at least be like 18 or 20, like somewhere.
I'm thinking like 20, 23 beer cans. 23.
If I were to lowball it, I'd probably say 17.
I'd say
highballing it would be like 23, 24.
I'd say in between 19 and 23, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of beer, and I think about maybe 5% of the beer ended up in his mouth, and about 1% of it went down into his actual system.
Yo.
And like Michael Cole had to say 18 fucking times, he's drinking on the job. Have you watched this guy for 20 years? Have you seen him on his ranch in his podcast? The guy drinks morning, noon, and night. So I gotta ask all together, thoughts on WrestleMania 38 and I won?
I would say, compared to the last couple WrestleManias, I would say this one is definitely one of the better ones that have been around.
Yes. Dallas, Texas, so far, you've redeemed yourself from the shitty WrestleMania that was WrestleMania 32. The only match being redeeming in there is Shane and Undertaker. Because, Shane jumps lol. He's crazy.
Shane do big jump. Ooh.
Exactly. Shane do big jump. But yeah, so overall pretty solid, better than last year's night one. And yeah, I want to know what your guys' thoughts on this. Make sure you put it in the comment section below. Say hi to Josh, because we should, because that's amazing, because he's a great dude. He's a good friend of the channel, so do it. Do it. Oh, there's a Mike Award. There's this one. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'm not throwing this one. This one's worth way too much. And see you next time.
You take me to him. Take me to the son of a bitch. Take me to him. Come on. Go, 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 go.